We all saw it. Every tech billionaire lined up behind Donald J. Trump at the inauguration ceremony, like it's a school assembly organised by the local bully, and they've just been told to clap or else. And it felt uneasy at the time, like the direction of the world had quietly been handed to a few guys with too much money, not enough sleep, and of course, bad haircuts. But even then, no one could predict how 2025 would unfold. It was basically like 2020 all over again, just worse. And right now, a war in the Middle East has made another unexpected turn. It's building a multi-billion-dollar war around Silicon Valley. And we've been told that AI is the great equalizer, you know, the tool that lets a kid in a Ghanaian village compete with Google. But while we're building our AI businesses or getting ChatGPT to play wingman on Tinder because we've lost the ability to talk to people, the physical world has just caught fire. From exploding energy bills to vampire factories in Taiwan, the cost of building an AI startup isn't just rising, it's becoming a billionaire-only club. And it turns out, the only thing harder than building a successful AI startup is trying to outbid Jeff Bezos for electricity during a global crisis. Here is how the Iran war is making big tech's AI monopoly untouchable. We often think of AI as living in the cloud, but the truth is, AI is grounded in physical reality. You see, it runs on massive amounts of electricity and hardware, and right now, the conflict in the Middle East is making both much more expensive.
To give you an idea, ChatGPT uses the energy equivalent of powering the Empire State Building for 1.5 years. Every single day. Which is mad. We haven't seen that kind of excessive consumption since Jeff Bezos turned Venice into a 3-day billionaire theme park and called it a wedding.
And here's what they're not telling you. If the conflict in Iran keeps increasing the energy prices, the AI boom hits a wall. When the cost of keeping the lights on increases, someone, of course, has to pay for it. Oh, and just so we're clear, and in case you've never encountered one of these billionaires and their generosity, that someone, it will be you.
If you're ChatGPT and the war in Iran sends energy prices into the stratosphere, you might just shrug your shoulders and write a check from your infinite money pile. It's not your money after all. It's your investors. And right now, they keep on adding more money to secure their investment.
But if you're a small AI entrepreneur sitting in your garage, suddenly your monthly AWS bill looks less like a business expense and more like the GDP of a small nation. And quite frankly, you aren't disrupting anything anymore. You're just trying to figure out if you can train your model by plugging it into a neighbour's outdoor outlet while they're still on vacation.
Then there is the supply chain issue. It's not just oil. The Iranian war has closed the Strait of Hormuz, affecting a multitude of AI components. From semiconductors and helium to aluminium and copper, it's a geopolitical nightmare that is going to set the AI industry on fire.
War disrupts supply and creates a scarcity tax on AI hardware. You see, Taiwan controls 70% of the world's chip manufacturing and 90% of advanced AI chips. But those Taiwanese factories are high-tech vampires that run on energy and chemicals shipped straight from, well, you guessed it, the Middle East. Since the Middle East provides about 1/3 of Taiwan's power and helium, it's basically the power plant for the world's hardware.
If you're a giant like Google or Microsoft, you have billions in cash. You can afford to price your chips. And besides, they're just going to send you the bill anyway. A bit like when Elon overpaid $44 billion for Twitter, broke half of it, and decided the blue tick wasn't about credibility anymore.
No, it was just another subscription fee everyone else had to swallow. And if you're a small AI startup with limited funding, these rising costs act like a paywall. By raising the barrier to entry, the war is accidentally helping big tech build a moat around its monopolies, leaving smaller entrepreneurs stuck on the outside.
Billions of dollars in US technology infrastructure and trillions more in planned investment now depend on fiber optic cables running through war zones. Amazon, Microsoft, and Google spent years building data centers across the Gulf, betting the region would become the world's next great hub for artificial intelligence.
The undersea cables connecting those facilities to Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia now pass through two narrow passages, the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz. Both are now effectively closed to commercial traffic. While this instability also affects big tech, in the end, it will be you, the consumers and startups, who will be impacted the most.
Cost will go up and reliability will decrease. This growing complexity raises the baseline requirements to compete effectively, reinforcing the advantage of established players.
Even though small companies and startups still have access to AI tools and APIs, the Iran war will make it much, much harder for them to deliver reliable, cost-effective products. As global infrastructure becomes more unstable, costs rise. Startups who rely on a single cloud provider or region, well, they're more exposed.
Unlike large companies, they can't easily reroute systems, absorb cost spikes, or invest in complex backup infrastructure. Their AI product usually looks like this. In a stable world, user sends query, API response, done. In a volatile world, API is slow, requests fail, cost spikes, mid-session, region has degraded routing. They are stuck building a massive invisible safety net of backups and plan Bs just to keep the app running.
Their users won't ever see that work, but if they skip it, the whole thing collapses the second a server messes up. Before, many could build quickly and compete on features. Now, startups also need to compete on reliability, cost control, and resilience. So, an already rigged game has become infinitely harder to play.